Hey, Piper. If you can't tell, Piper is curled up. A little sleepy thing right next to me. And I figured this would be a perfect time to talk about how we came to have one of the cutest cats in the world. Right, baby? So if you have seen any of my other adoption story times, you will know that first we had well, not first, but we got Casper before we got Piper. And we had Percy first. He was our first cat. So one day, I got a phone call around 2 a.m. and it was my little brother. And he was at my parents' house. They live about an hour from where we live. And where they live, it's very, very heavily wooded. There's lots of coyotes and like big cats and a lot of predators in those woods. And my little brother was at my parents' house visiting, and he heard these tiny little meows coming from outside. Now, my mother is not an animal person whatsoever. My dad is, and all of her children are, but she's just not a fan of animals. So my mom wasn't going to check on the noise, and my brother went outside, and he found this tiny little black and orange kitten. And guys, when we got her, she was small, like just a couple of months old. She was tiny. And he noticed that this little cat, let me see if she'll let me show you. Oh no, stay here, Piper, stay here. No. He noticed that this tiny little cat, her mouth was hanging. Piper said no thank you. But anyways, we noticed or my brother noticed, that her bottom lip right here was kind of just hanging off. Like she had gotten in a fight with a bigger animal, or that the vet said maybe she had gotten caught on something and her lip ripped in order to escape whatever situation she was in. So my brother, he called me up at 2 a.m. Might have been 3 a.m. because he knew that I would answer. And he knew that as soon as he said, "I found a kitten," my next words would be, "Bring it to my house now." So that's what he did. And he drove her over to my house. At that point, I had 2 other cats. So I wanted to make sure that they were safe since we didn't know this kitten yet. So what we did is we had a rather large screened porch area, and we set up a nice little spot for her. Hey, Piper. Hi, baby. We set up a nice little spot for her, got her a litter box, got her some kitten food. litter, and it was nice and protected. So that's where she stayed for a couple of days until she might need to go again. Until we could get her a vet appointment. She does not want to cooperate, which is odd because she is our sweetest little cat. She's our little sweet, look how cute, our little sweetheart. Yes, you are, Jill. So she stayed out on that screened porch area until we could get her a vet appointment. We brought her into the vet and we got the all clear that, well, after a couple of days after her blood work came back and stuff, we got the all clear that she was okay and she could come inside and join the other cats. Now, originally, the plan was to not keep her. I was just going to kind of like foster her and try to find her a home and just give her a nice safe space until she could find one, because we already had 2 animals and that was the limit at the house that we were in at that time. We don't live there anymore. So we let her go inside, which is always your first mistake if you're not planning on keeping an animal, because she has never gone back outside. I mean, look at her. We fell in love with this little cat's personality. She is the loudest purr. She has the loudest purr. She's got these beautiful green eyes. You see how beautiful she is? She is sassy. You can read exactly how she feels by looking in these little eyes. Whether she's happy or annoyed. Most of the time, those are her 2 only emotions. She's such a good girl. She is the best animal that we have ever had. Hands down. Like, she's just good. She's just a good cat. She's an angel. She never does anything wrong. I just adore her. So, we kept her, obviously. We have had her now. How old are you, baby girl? Are you 5? Are you 6? Let's see. I always do it. Casper was born in 2015. And she is 1 year younger than him. So Casper just had his 7th birthday. Actually, May 1st. And Piper's birthday is March 31st. We just make up birthdays for them because they're all strays and rescues. And it's funny, we actually ended up getting our dog Penny. We got her March 31st the following year, or the year after that maybe. And I always joke that it is the worst birthday that Piper ever had. Because we brought a dog into the house. But really, they get along really well now. They just leave each other alone. They're not best friends. They just avoid each other, but she's my little sweetheart. We did have a scare with her. Hi, baby. We did have a scare with her. Maybe, oh, sweet girl. Look at those little paws. Look at her. I love how one of them's orange and all the rest of them are black. So we did have a scare with her. A couple of weeks after we got her, we had to take her back in for something I can't remember. I was at work. At this point, my brother was living with us. And I got a phone call from him saying that she had gotten out of the cage. When he went to go back inside, the cage door wasn't closed all the way, and she nudged it and she ran. And at this point, she was so little and so tiny, and we thought she was gone forever. So I left work and I went to go look for her. And we were going around the neighborhood, shaking food, calling her name. Sweet girl. And we couldn't find her. And we did this non-stop around the neighborhood and all the adjoining areas over there. We did it non-stop for the whole night until maybe like 11 o'clock at night. And it was time to go to bed. And obviously we were heartbroken that we couldn't find her. So I went out one more time, and I went on the screen porch and I called her name, and I heard a tiny meow, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's her, thank God. The only problem is she was in our neighbor's backyard behind us, over the fence. It was about 11 or midnight. They were asleep. I didn't want to go wake them up and say, hey, I think my cat is in your backyard. Is it okay if we go there? So my brother hopped the fence. He tried like really quietly to get her. But you know, when a cat runs away or gets out, they always run away when you approach them. So she ended up running into the space in between two fences. So she ran into somebody else's house that didn't have a fence. So we went over there. I coaxed her out with some treats. And she finally would get close enough where she would smell the treat. But anytime you put your hand out to grab her, she would run away again. And I was like, I am not letting something happen to this angel of a cat. She was still so small. She could like fit in your hand. So I coaxed her out with a treat. And as soon as she was close enough to me, I tackled her. I jumped on top of her. I grabbed her. I pinned her down. And she was thrashing. She was scared. And I told my husband, I said, take off your shirt right now. So he took off his shirt and I wrapped her up in it. We ran to our house because we were probably like 6 houses away. So we ran to the house. We opened the door. I ran to the bathroom. Oh, sorry if you can see our laundry. We're in the middle of doing laundry on the bed. I ran to the bathroom and I shut her in because at this point we weren't sure if she had been bitten by something or what, so she had to stay in the bathroom until we could get her into the vet the next day. And oh my gosh, that was a crazy night, but we got her. And then we moved into this house that we live in now. And I have honestly never seen a cat more happy in a house. She loves this home. She licked me. Oh, best day of my life. Oh, she's licking me. It's funny, when cats lick me, I melt. When dogs lick me, I go, ew, gross, stop. So ever since that day, we've just been really, really careful because we know if she gets out, it'll be really hard to get her back in. She's just a very frightful cat. She loves me. She adores me. She doesn't so much like my husband. She likes my brother. And she likes me. But that's about it. And I am the only person that she trusts. So I know if she gets out, it's going to be really, really hard to get her back. Super, super, super careful. Because look at her. Look at this angel. Oh, she's perfect, isn't she? Like, look at these tiny paws. Look at her little tail. So sweet. She's a perfect cat. She's got all these little quirks about her. Like, she likes to drink out of the faucet while it's running. If you forget to put the toilet seat down, she will drink out of the toilet. This cat loves water. If you're taking a bath, she'll go and put her paws on it, and she'll try to drink out of the water or let you pet her while you're taking a bath. She's just my little sweetheart. But yeah, that's Piper's adoption story. She came to us when she was a little tiny kitten. Oh, I do want to mention we did try to find and see if she had owners for a while before we decided to keep her. Because I have lost cats before and they never came home, and it's devastating, and I would never want that to happen to anyone else. But no one claimed her, so she ended up finding a home with us. And honestly, I'm so grateful every single day. Because look at her. She's so lovely. Oh, itchy, itchy. But yeah, this is Piper. I will have to do one on Percy. Did I do Percy? I don't think so. He has the longest story. He's been through a lot of health things in his life. Surgeries and vet visits and emergency vet. He has a really long story. So he was our first animal, but I'll probably save him for last. But this is Lou. Oh, sorry, this is Piper. I almost said the name of my friend's cat that looks like her. We have another cat that lives in the neighborhood and always stays around our house. And he's the sweetest little thing, and I accidentally call her his name all the time. And I accidentally call my children's name our dog's name. And I'm not running at full capacity. So you will for sure hear me call our animals the wrong names. And you won't hear my children's names because I'll edit that out if I do that, but it happens. But yeah, this is Piper. I'm glad that you guys got to meet her because she's so, so special to me. Like, look at that angel. She's so cute, isn't she? I wonder if you can even hear her purring. It is so loud. Yeah, that's Piper, and that's her story, and that's how she got to us. And she's perfect, and I love her. But thank you for being here and listening to her story. I hope to see you again very